Alrighty, welcome back again to another tutorial. Today we will be doing Pangu Lagoon, one of my favorite levels. Like I said earlier, it's very similar to Dragon Valley. If you like Dragon Valley, you'll like Pangu Lagoon. If you like Jade Creek, you'll like Pangu Lagoon. If you hate Jade Creek and Dragon Valley, you're gonna hate Pangu Lagoon. So it's just like you're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. It's a very technical level. There's no major glitches, thank God. So it's just straightforward, pure skill. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Alright. So the very first thing we're gonna do, this whole first screen is pretty easy. You're just going to hop, spin, hop, and here we go. First hard tech. Whew, that was hard. Alright, no, the first real hard tech is right here. You see that these pedals are kind of like floating around? We're gonna get above that first pedal and then boost. And after we boost, it's gonna take us. Get up here. There's gonna be a lot of bees here, and they're just there to ruin your frame rate. It's gonna lead you up right here. And once we get here, we're gonna do a down kick like that, and that should actually land us right here. And then we'll immediately do another down kick. Down kick, and then we're gonna kind of do another whole thing here, and it's gonna end up over here. Basically, we want to get right over where that item was, that little plant. We want to be right here. That's where we're going to be after I do all of that. So, here we go. Let's see it in action now, shall we? Oh, so I'm going to have to reset because there has to be crystals there. I didn't think about that part. Yeah, this is very dependent on there being crystals at specific locations. You're going to notice that very often. Alright, so here we go. Right over it, boost, do a down kick. That's gonna happen. For whatever reason, Lilac will cross it and do another down kick. Oops. Sorry, I screwed that up. You want to be right here and then do a down kick. My bad. Alright, so let me get back here. Because this whole motion, it's all chained together into one thing here. So, here, up here. State, here we go. Good. Trainer is extraordinarily useful for this stage. I would like to point that out. There we go. Then do another down kick. Oops, I didn't not want to do that. I want to do another down kick over the plant. I apologize. I did. My body said one thing, but my head said another. There we go. So you notice how I did like a down cyclone down kick. Let's just make sure we cover it. As we fall down, we're gonna end up here. We're gonna jump off the slope, and then we're gonna hit that spring, and then just hold this. One of those first instances, we're gonna hold upright when we hit this spring, because normally you lose momentum when you do that, right? But there's gonna be a ceiling when you hit it. It stops all momentum loss. So here we go. Oh dear. If you miss that jump, by the way, there is no backup. You cannot do this route again. This is a good time to show the backup in case you mess it up. Is that if for whatever reason you miss the jump and overshoot it, or whatever reason, just hit the spring all the way up, and oops, there. That's the platform you want to get to. There we go. Try that again. You land here and you just boost right. That is the actual backup, but I got to do this again. This should be the appropriate way, which is 1,000 times faster. There we go. Jump off. There we go. See how we hit that and just kind of carries her over? You don't lose any momentum. You're just gonna hold right and just that's it. And once you get to the middle in between, roughly around here, just boost, maintain that momentum, down kick, and as soon as you see there's the little green patch, you know how I was pausing around there. As soon as you pass that last bit of green and you get on this wall completely, restart. This is gonna teleport, Lilac. Oh, save states. That stinks. I forgot. Whenever you have a save state during the trainer, it tends to go back to where you saved the save state instead of where you should be. So I'm gonna have to do a quick restart here. Yeah, it's just how the trainer works. So sometimes it gets a little wonky like that. So, but this is the only time we're gonna do a little warp via the whole stage via the point. But you do get to see this again, which is always nice to see, I guess. There we go. So that's me doing it right on the first try. It's not particularly hard. It sounds hard, but it really isn't. There we go. And then you do your save. That should bring us right where we should be. There we go. That's where it's supposed to teleport us. Now that once we're here, we're just gonna hop down and just kind of flow through with it. Hop down, flow through it, down kick. Once you hit that, you want to boost top right as soon as you pass it. And then kind of hold down. Notice how I kind of boost in the other direction? You kind of want to do that as well. And then down kick all the way down here. Once you get down, this will land us here. We should be actually technically holding right as we're coming down. And then that allows us to do this part. There is 2 ways to do this. I don't recommend the second way, which is doing a high cyclone across. Because ideally, you want to be here. And then boost right, basically. You can high cyclone across, which is faster than just trying to slowly cyclone across. But I don't recommend it because there's no real backup for it if you mess up. But I will add it to the addendum if you want to see how it looks. And then you just boost across. Perfect. Like that. And you'll land right there. Just be careful. Make sure you're in between that. If you're too far away to the left, you will fall down to this pit. And it's a pain in the butt to get out. You're going to hold down right. There is going to be 2 of these stalks with the spinny thingies on them. As soon as you pass the second one, you're safe to hold boost right. Like that. And then you go off screen. This is a fade out, so you go ahead, you can fade out right on there, and you'll be fine. As soon as you come onto this screen, we're just gonna hold right and just kind of boost. This is gonna hit this, and it's gonna hit this. These rings, by the way, I should probably explain them now. Is they give Lilac an instantaneous extra boost, like a super boost. It is the fastest possible movement you can get in the game as Lilac. And it gives it to you instantaneously. But you only get 1 charge of it, and then you can immediately do a standard boost right after. Now that I've explained it, I was a little late on that. There's going to be a spring here. So you are going to roll boost into the spring, and then immediately as soon as you get off the spring, you're going to boost left. So we're going to kind of like keep forcing Lilac to keep boosting, because when you hit the roll into that spring and attempt to boost, it cancels your boost. So this is to make sure we are boosting. Like that. See how it makes that really weird sounding noise? It's because she's trying to boost and it get canceled, then it redoes it. Once you get to the top, you notice how I bonked right, and then I held on the boost so we can bonk left. This guarantees you're going to land right here by that plant. And that's where we exactly want to be. Because then we can jump up, or completely fall down. I mean, take your pick here. But ideally, what should have happened is that we want to kind of come across and hit this. Once we get into the center of that, you boost top. Oh, sorry, not boost top right. That's an old strategy I'm doing, going top right. I will show that old strategy just for the kicks and giggles here. But you want to boost right. You see this? We're gonna hit this slope. You're gonna immediately jump, like that. And see that crevice right there? That's like an arrow, kind of like denting, like connecting. And, hey, go right kind of thing. You want to boost right around there. I didn't mean to do that. And then come down, cyclone, and you end up here. I did say there was another strategy here, now didn't I? Oh, let's go back. I'll show you that. It's an older strategy. It's slightly slower, but it worked. It checks out. You boost all the way going up. And you see how there's a similar indent, but in the far background? It's the same concept, but you're going to boost here, and then you come down. And then you go across. It's slightly different. They both achieve the same thing. The bottom rate is much quicker because you're spending more time on the ground and it's much more reliable. Either way, we are going to end up here. And this is going to be one whole motion, so I'm going to try and explain it, everything in one go. And I won't show you the faster route on this yet because it requires that all this goes right. But basically, you want to jump off of this, get that. Once you get this, boost top right. Okay? Now you notice right now, there we go. I was covering it before, but now that it's exposed, you see how there's that same indent, but going the opposite direction? We want to be just to the right of that and immediately boost right. Alright? Because what's there is that when we boost right here, it's going to land us where there's 2 flowers. They're spitting poisonous gas, noxious gas. By being roughly around here, we can make sure we don't hit that those raised pillars where the flowers are. Because if you hit that, you're going to lose control of Lilac, and she's going to fall down to a pit that's extremely hard to get out of. So make sure you're roughly around this spot, boost right, and then she'll fall down. And then down. You have to be very quick. If you're too far to the right, you have to be faster. Sometimes you can just down kick before, instead of just falling naturally, you can down kick so you get a much better position. But if you miss this up, you enter this pit, and this pit is very hard to get out of. We don't want to ever be in that pit, ever. Your run is dead. Not your run, but your IL is dead if you fall into that pit. Oh, I thought it was on the other super booster. The other super booster, you're supposed to do that. This one, you're supposed to just do this. There we go. Come down. Down kick. Okay. There's going to be a second down kick. Oh. Timing on that was awful. You have to get this whole motion correct. You only get one attempt at it as well. There is no second attempts, no backups. Either you get it or you don't get it. There we go. So once you get it, we're going to follow the slope, and there's going to be a patch of grass. Right there. See how that grass right at the bottom of the screen there is? It's kind of like really tall grass. Roughly in the middle of it. As soon as we're completely off that slope, we're going to do a down kick, and then we're immediately going to do a second down kick, and then do a down up cyclone. And we're going to cross this massive gap, and then hit a spring, basically. Of course, I don't get it. It's very hard to do it with constant pausing. And basically what it's going to do is we're going to end up here, we're going to do a down kick, it lands us here, we're going to do another down kick, which allows us, sorry, no, wow, there's no 2 down kicks. Wow, I'm stupid. It's just going to be 1 down kick, and that's going to basically lead us in between these 2 things. We want to basically thread a needle again, and then do a down up, which allows us to cut through all of this. Cut through all of this, it's going to lead us here, slide off of that, and land us right on top of the spring, basically. And once you get on this spring, you're going to spring off it and then boost. And that will take you to the end of the screen. But it's all one motion. It's very difficult. I call this the upper route. There is a lower route, and I will explain the lower route. So that was the upper route. The lower route is significantly easier, but it's going to be slower. And it's the same concept, but unlike the upper route requires that whole motion that we just did has to be done right. There's no other way to do the upper route, really. The lower route, though, if you screw up, you can do the lower route all the time. And all you do is, you're going to do down kick into this, wait till you're at the edge of that, come in, and oops, I was a little too high, but what you do is, instead of taking that upper path, you're going to take this lower path and cycle all the way across to the spring. I'll try it one last time, see if I can get the whole motion. This is a challenging portion of the stage, so don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. Just keep at it and keep practicing, you'll eventually get it. There we go. Ah, a little too high. If you fall down in this pit, though, you're screwed. I'm gonna be honest. It's very hard to get out of this pit. I'll give one last shot, and then I'll show the upper route, at least attempt to show the upper route, which is even more challenging, because sometimes you're going too fast. There is also another alternative I like to show when doing that whole up... Oops. Yeah, you can't do that. There is an alternative. You notice how I said, like, there's, like, you know, down kick, down kick? There is an alternative to get past that. I'll show you when I do the upper route. There we go. There it is. And that's what the lower route looks like. There is going to be crystals here. If you just usually your spins can cross it. But if they don't, just keep punching. You'll knock them out. And then you hit the spring, and then boost off. So I'm going to try to show you the upper route. And I'll show you the alternative to doing the double down kick. And there it is. That's the alternative to the down kick. It's much more consistent to do it this way. I should have said do this way instead of the down kick. But the down kick is just out of muscle memory. It's just something I've been doing. Wait to the middle. There it is. And, oh, I forgot. There's one last step. Make sure you tell Ad to look a little bit left just to make sure she hits the spring. Sometimes you'll just overshoot. But that was it. I just missed the spring by a little bit. But if you tell Ad to slow down, she will hit it. And then you can just follow through with what we just basically did. If I can get to the spring. There you go. The game didn't want me to get to the spring. But basically, that's the whole upper route. I'm glad I actually even got it right. Usually it takes me a couple of tries. I'm not particularly great at the upper route. But I can do the lower route pretty consistently. So, this screen is pretty easy. You're just going to boost right. Down kick down like that. Reach the top. Down kick. Cyclone across. And then you're just going to make a right boost here. I do like to tell Lilac to go left. Because I have a tendency of boosting too far right. And this causes Lilac to kind of miss it. But you want to just boost right there. Right where that vine is. There's a tendency that you go too far, you just can't make that jump. That's why I like to tell Lilac to, slow down a little bit. You lose like a second, but it helps to get this consistently. Then you're just gonna hop. Make sure you get this crystal. Please, for the love of God, get that crystal. It's extraordinarily important that we have that crystal. You're gonna hop, hop. Don't do any cyclones because you need to maximize your energy because you will not have maximum energy going into this door. You want to get as close as you can to maximum energy, however. There we go. So this is Pangu, the second half. This is a very, very difficult part of the level here. So that's why I made that save state. I do want to begin at the current frame, actually. Alright, so this is where the train is extremely useful because there's cycles, cycles, cycles. That's what all Pangu 2, Act 2 is all about. Cycles, cycles, cycles. So if you're using the trainer, make sure you're always doing beginning of the current frame so it's accurate on all cycles. They always activate as soon as Lilac comes in. So the first thing you do is you're going to, I have to be on the correct cycle, boost, down kick, down kick. Once you do that, you're ready for the next part. There is 2 ways of doing this next part. Well, first, jump, boost. Alright, here's the 2 ways. The 2 ways of doing this is the cyclone method or the down kick method. I am an advocate of the down kick method because there's an issue with the cyclone method, but I will show you the cyclone method first because that is actually, I'll show you the down kick method first and then I'll show you the cyclone method and I'll explain why I don't like the cyclone. But you can do a down kick right at the top, and as soon as you see that sign, you get to the near edge of it, down kick again. Down kick again, and then let Lilac fall. As soon as you see that crystal right there, boost right. Oops, I did a little late there, but if you did it correctly, she would have cleared all of this and land perfectly right here. That's that's the method I like because it's extremely reliable. It's a little bit slower, but very reliable, but it requires more inputs. The cyclone method is straight up faster and way safer. But I have an issue with it, and I have a stint with it, and I'll explain it. So you do everything normally. The cyclone method is extraordinarily tight. The very split fraction second you start coming off that slope, you must immediately do a ground cyclone off of that slope, almost immediately. Oh, I was a little late. Oh no, I got it. Okay, we're good. And then you can kind of go across like you did normally. So that was the cyclone method done correctly. So why don't I like that cyclone method? We'll see if I can get it to occur. You see, it's so precise that you notice how there's bees kind of crawling around? It's completely random how they crawl. And if a bee decides to show up right there at any given point, and you lose even a fraction of a frame, Lilac cannot complete this whole motion. Yeah, I missed the slope by a little bit, but you cannot complete that entire motion if a single bee shows up. And it's completely random whether it shows up or not. Which is why I don't like doing the cyclone, because it's just out of your control. But it is, again, straight up faster if you do get it. I do want to show you a backup here, because this is a very difficult portion to do. If for whatever reason you make a mistake, either doing the cyclone or down kick method, you can just basically see this. Notice how there's like 2 upper paths here. Oops, I fell down. That's so bad. On the second upper path, I'll show you what to do with it. You can actually do basically, essentially, get back in the game. Basically back up there. There it is. So right here, as soon as you land like roughly in between these 2, just boost. Oops, I did that wrong. Do that again. The reason why you want to be over it is because if you're not over it, you saw what just happened, is basically what occurs. Up. See what I was talking about with the bees? If that guy shows up, you can't make it. That's what I was talking about. It's completely random, and I hate it because of that. Oh, okay, I got lucky. I didn't make it though, but he can screw with you if you hit him like once or twice. He just screws everything up because he makes that jump even tighter than it should be. But that's how you do it. So here we go. Once you're here, over this, boost. Hold down the boost button, and there you go. There's your second one. It always puts you in the same position all the time. The last thing I do want to show you is an even easier method. In case the first 2 methods were still too difficult, this method is 100% super duper easy. You can never fail it. So here we go. You do the same thing. Instead, you're going to do a down kick, and as soon as you get to the sign, you're going to do an uppercut. Just a standard uppercut. Like that. Cyclone, and then you're right here. So basically, once you get here, you can just do the backup method, or just hop, cyclone, and boost. Like that. Either method works with the uppercut method. Uppercut method is very generous. It's very easy to do, but it is very slow, and that's why we don't do it. It's very, very slow because you lose so much momentum. But it's a very good, easy way if you're struggling with this part and you just kind of want to get past it for now, or you just don't want to focus on it, or you just have too much trouble with it. So those are the 3 possible methods to get through that deathly gauntlet. Once you get past that, we're going to get right here. I need to save my current state. I do have the fire shield, good. So, once you get here, there's 2 ways of doing this. Actually 3 ways, but I don't like the 3rd way, but you can do the 3rd way. Is you're going to do a boost. I'll show you the the easy way first. Down kick off at that top, and then roughly about halfway, which is right here, do a top right boost, down kick, collect the crystals, boost again, and you're good. Okay, this screen is actually fade outable, but I'll explain how to get it fade outable. Now, I need to get there first. So that was the easy way. The slightly harder but faster way is boost, down kick, cyclone, and then get it. There you go. If you do the cyclone close to the end, you notice how I kind of made it almost, but if you don't, you can just oomph it up a little bit. If you're near the end of that whole segment, you can just cyclone, and you'll guarantee to get over it. And then boost, and then you're good. Okay? The final method of doing this, which is the fastest method, is high cyclones. And that is the absolute fastest way of doing that whole segment. I was surprised I even got that, actually, because usually I'm bad with high cyclones. But that is the fastest way of doing it, but it's incredibly difficult. And it's very dangerous because you fall in that pit, those beasts eat up all of your frames, and they just destroy your time. It's very, very annoying. Now, I did say that that screen is fade outable. It is dependent on speed. There's the easy way of doing it. If you do, what is it? The slowest way possible, which is this. It is the easiest way to actually make this fade out work because you're going fast. You're going extremely fast. Now, before you leave this segment, you have to do a down kick because for some reason that makes lag quote unquote go as our fastest possible speed. It actually affects this transition, and if you do the boost there, it adds on to that, so it makes it even easier. See how I just kind of rolled off, and there you go, fade out works. But if you do any of the other two methods, you have to make sure your delay is much longer, because you're not going anywhere as fast as you should be. So there we go, that should be good. Nope. It's a lot more it can be done, I promise you. It's just a lot more dangerous to do so with the other method. So I would not recommend this fade out unless you do the slow method. I really don't recommend it because of how difficult it can be to get. Let's see if I can get it this time. No, I didn't get it. Alright, whatever. You have to be doing a down kick. You don't do a down kick, there is no fade out available for you. Alright, so this screen, again, cycles, cycles, cycles. You can do this screen without in one go. It is possible. It is extraordinarily tight, however. So I'm going to actually add the fast quote quote fast way of doing this as an addendum, because it is incredibly tight and it can take a lot of practice and a lot of attempts even for me to get it right. But I will show you an alternative way, which is for us slow folks, which guarantees works, because there is 8 points that we require that the blocks need to be in a certain pattern. You cannot get that pattern if you miss the cycle even by a fraction of by a second. But this slow way increases the I think if you do it this way, it's like you only have like 1 to 2 seconds worth of errors you can make, which is extraordinarily precise or something like that. But if you do it this way, which I'm going to show you, which is the restart method, it doubles that. So you have like anywhere between like 2 to 5 seconds or 2 to 4 seconds of error time, which is significantly better. So the restart method is, instead of doing anything, either method is the same. It's just you're increasing the time that you have available to perform this without screwing up, basically. So the restart method, you restart as soon as you enter, and this resets the cycle to a specific pattern. You're going to fall down, make sure you hit that slope, and then boost. Okay, you're going to see an enemy. That's the enemy. The second enemy, you're going to boost top right. And then, see there's like a little tip of this pillar? Boost top right again. Down kick, and then do a down ground cyclone off of this. Cancel it, make sure you're on this, you must be walking, because you want to do an immediate ground boost like that. Keep going. Alright, we're going to do a ground cyclone. Cancel it, and see where that arrow is? We want to be roughly where that arrow is. Like that. Beautiful. Alright. Roughly, I missed it by a little bit, but roughly at that corner, top left boost. Perfect. And that's the whole motion completed. Now, if I didn't hold up, I would have bonked on this left little nudge coming out, and that would actually send me all the way across without having to grab it. Works perfectly fine. But that's called the perfect cycle. That's what we want to achieve. Both methods, you want to get to the same point. But it is a lot harder by just gunning it. It's faster both RTA and IGT by only fractions of a second, but RTA wise it's a significant time save, but it depends on what you're gunning for. The restart method is significantly easier. I do recommend it initially, and if you're ballsy enough, you can definitely go for the just straight gun it through with it, but it's a lot more difficult than doing this method. I do recommend that. Then let's just continue with the stage. You just kind of bop off, spin there a little bit, and then once you get here, just ground boost, and then jump off that little slope, and do a nice little cyclone. Also, these are always going to be on the same pattern if you get all of that correct, so don't worry about the positions of these things. If you're off, then they might be off. Once you get here, you will do a, I do want to show something here, so I'm going to have to save the state here. You can do a rolling boost once you hit the edge, to the edge. So you want to be on that edge and then down left. Something like that. So once you get that, you can keep running, and then before you come off the screen, drop kick off of it. Down kick, wow. Once you down kick, it's just like that previous screen. If you down kick off it, you're going quote unquote fast enough to do that. There is a fade out there. You're going to keep going, cyclone off of that, down kick, and then down kick. I kind of did that all wrong, so I want to try that again. Because that's technically fast, but you can go a little bit faster by going like that. By jumping off of them, you can go faster. Okay, either way, once you get to the bottom, there will be springs here. This is a very precise boost. You have to be at the lowest possible point to allow to get that boost. I missed it there. I'll try again. There it is. That is the lowest possible point. You have to practice to get that. This is actually a really scary boost because it's extremely tight. That will basically do that. You'll nudge right through it. And then you'll fall. Once you get to this guy, just jump, spin, land, spin. As soon as you get to the arrow, you just basically spin. And then you fall down, hold down boost. Alright. For this thing to work, just hold down boost. That's it. Right up, then left up, then right up. And just hold right up until you hit the hang bars. Observe. Right up, left up, right up, right up. Bar. 100% success rate if you do that all the time. Then we're gonna restart instead of going down on accident. Alright, so here we go. Right up, left up, right up, right up. Drop. Done. Alright, so now we're entering the boss. This boss is a lot easier than it looks. Notice how I just passed one of those those little circle power rings? Keep going till you get to the second one, and just sit right under it. Once the cutscene starts, hold on boost, right. Alright, keep going. Once you start falling off, cyclone, and you're good. Notice I'm getting close to this edge. Alright, let me explain this boss now. This little trick we're going to do here is that you just have to hit the eye once with the boost and it will kill it. But to get the eye flashing, which is the only way you can hit it, is if you do enough damage to the bubbles on its back. The thing is, there's a lot of bubbles, like a lot of bubbles. But this trick is we can destroy a lot of the bubbles, especially the ones at the back, that they don't, or at least even the front, a number of them, that they don't register all the bubbles, because you're supposed to kill them all. But you knock out enough of the bubbles that the way when we bring them in, it just doesn't register those bubbles for whatever reason. So its eye starts flashing prematurely, and this allows you to knock them out in one blow before, like, way before you're supposed to. So we're gonna stay on the slope here, like this, and then we're gonna start swinging, like that. You just notice how I'm climbing up and then fall down. That's the best way to do it. We got a lot of the bubbles, about half of them. It's just fine. Then I'm gonna stand here and then stand right where this is and wait until you hear a noise. Okay, there it is. Jump up, boost. Oh, I missed it. I was a little too late. But if you do it right, you can just hit him before anything happens. And notice how the bubbles just vanish? It just works. Okay, so I'm gonna restart here. Because you can only get one shot at that. It's usually like, actually, it's not even, you don't even have to hear him. It's actually like a second or two delay, and then you should be able to get it. Wow, that was really embarrassing. Usually I never mess that up. Alright, so here we go. Same thing. Now, if you did not do the reset method, you will still have the fire shield for this boss, which makes it a little easier if you're bad at hitting bubbles. But let's get real, it's not hard to hit the bubbles. It's just literally that. Alright, the rest of the bubbles despawned. There we go. And he's dead. It's got like a second or two wait, and then you'll get one shot. Boom, done. And that is Pangu Lagoon in a nutshell. That was a really long nutshell, actually. So, it's very technical, as you saw. Lots of things to practice. It's very tight. But if you get it all, it's such a fun and beautiful level to be doing. So, let's see the full run, shall we? Here we go. Full run without the excessive pausing and me explaining everything. So here we go. Okay, we're gonna hop, hop, boost, down kick off, cross, jump. There we go, got the spring, that's really nice. About halfway, I'm gonna boost again. And there we go. Alright, we're gonna hop up, fall down, spin, boost across, boost again, come down. Alright, we're gonna go into that second section like that, collect all of them. Got past the second one, good. And we're gonna do the fade out right here. Make sure to hold the boost with the double boost. And come down. Jump off of that, boost across. And cyclone across. Alright, here we go. This is the tough part. Oh, that was really early. So that's really bad, so I can't go with the upper route now. I did that way too early, so we're gonna do the lower route. Oh, I jumped a little too high. Oh well. I'm gonna come across. So I missed both the upper and lower route, unfortunately. That stinks. So we're just gonna have to do it the slow way, unfortunately. Pop off that. Cross. So Lilac a little bit down. There we go. Beautiful. Oops, I did the no-no. I did the no-no. Don't. You want to try to avoid cycling as much as possible. Make sure we have enough energy for that one particular boost. Okay, I'm gonna do the down kick method. Oh, I missed it, so I'm gonna do the backup. There we go. Okay, I need to make sure I have enough energy right here. Boost across. Gonna cyclone it. Oh, I missed the cyclone. So, as you can tell, it's very hard to get out of this. So I'm gonna do the very incorrect way of doing that. We're gonna do the restart method. Yeah, that's one way to get across that room, I say. There we go. Right at the tip. Come down. Boost across. Oh, I might be too high. Yep, I'm too high. So I have to do this the long way. So the long way is you just kind of have to go through this. It's very slow. Once you get right here, you can just kind of boost right across. Probably should explain that as a backup. You have to collect those crystals if you do the long way, unfortunately. If you don't do the long way, you can just kind of blaze through it like we did originally. Alright, get off there. Can we get this psych? Yes, we got it. Alright, we're good. Got it. And we're gonna jump. Hit that. Hit that. Come down. Boost. Remember, top right. Top left, top right, top right, and we're good. Come down. Notice how I just kind of did like a down kick there. It is slightly faster to do the down kick, but you don't have to. If you want to save like that 1 second, basically, sometimes it's a little dangerous because you might miss the boost. You have to get that boost, or you pick it up here with a high uppercut. Depends how you want to do it. So, unfortunately, this is going to be a little over 3 minutes. That's a little unfortunate. Still gonna be a good time though. Wait for him to claw out. There we go. And 1, 2, 3. Boost. He's gone. 307 not the best time for me, but it's a very good time that you guys should be looking out for. You should definitely be looking for those 3:30s or somewhere between 3:30 to 3:05. These are like those first initial times you guys want to be looking for. Ideally, you want to get under 3 minutes, and getting under 3 minutes is a challenge, but it can be done. It requires you to get a lot of things right. Like, you notice how I messed up the gauntlet run, and then I messed up the high route for the cyclone stuff. Getting all that correct saves significant amount of time, and that's where a lot of the time saved especially comes from. A lot of it just requires very good perfection throughout the stage. But as you saw, it's not a very stressful stage. It's very calm, relaxing. It's a very fun stage. I personally love it. A lot of the other guys love it too. It's why we have so many people who like running Pangu Lagoon. But unfortunately, we must leave Pangu Lagoon behind. I will add more addendums, by the way, so you can see some of the other stuff. But we're gonna have to leave Pangu for the absolute worst level of the entire game, Battle Glacier. It is the longest level of the game. It is very, very, very difficult, and I'm going to have to teach it, unfortunately. But that's for another time. For now, though, keep up, keep going. You're almost there. We're at stage 8, and once you get past Battle Glacier, it's the last stretch. So until next time, I'm signing out. Keep up the work.